OpenAI's Codex isn't just for coding, it's also really useful for everyday computer tasks and general knowledge work. Codex feels very similar to ChatGPT, but it's designed to do more than just answer questions. You can use Codex to organize projects, work with files, generate content, research ideas, and automate tasks on your own computer. Think of it like having an AI assistant that can actually help you get work done. And you do not need coding experience to start using it. In this video, I'll walk you through everything step by step in a simple way that everyone can follow. And the best part is you can learn the basics and start using Codex in less than 15 minutes. This is Codex. At the end of the day, it's really just an application that lets you work with AI in more of a practical and interactive way on your computer. To access Codex, head on over to chatgpt.com/Codex, and here is where you could download the Codex app onto your machine. But before you do that, you'll want to make sure you have a ChatGPT account if you don't already have one. If you don't have an account, head on over to the pricing page. Here you can check out different plans. And under the free plan, you could get limited Codex access. And under this video, I'll be using the Plus plan. And that gives me the expanded Codex usage here. Let's download Codex. In my case, it's Windows. If you're on Mac, you should be seeing Mac. And I'll click on that. And then go ahead, click on the installer. Once you're done installing the Codex app, you should be prompted to sign into your ChatGPT account if you're not already signed in. So let's go ahead and do that. When you first open Codex, the interface will probably feel familiar if you've used ChatGPT before, but Codex can do more than just answer questions. It can help you create, read, update files, and projects on your computer. The easiest way to get started is by creating your first chat. You could type in here directly within the prompt box, or just use the dictate button if you prefer speaking instead of typing. Create me a cheat sheet of the most common Codex app shortcuts. These global chats, I like to call them, they're really great for like quick tasks or researching something, or if you have like a very simple question. You could have multiple chats running different tasks at the same time. Instead of mixing everything into one long conversation, you could keep each chat focused on a specific topic. Let's create a new chat. You could hit Control N or just select the new chat button at the top there. And I'll get a second chat going. Create me title ideas for YouTube video about Codex app beginner. And let's go ahead and send that in. And now I have a second chat going, and you'll notice the dot there, that colored dot. That means that chat is complete or it's done doing its task. Let's check that out. And here's a list of different Codex shortcuts that we could use. And then you can see that the second one is done for our video titles. Now I don't have to do that later. You could also create chats within projects. Think of projects in Codex like a workspace connected to a folder on your computer. You could start off from scratch, or you can use an existing folder. That's what I'll do. I'll create a new folder on my desktop. Here on my desktop, I'll add in a new folder. I'll call it weather. So in this weather folder, I have all my weather forecast. Now this folder could contain anything like documents, images, or it could even be an empty folder like it is now. Now that we have our folder created, we could use an existing folder and select the new folder we created and select that. And now we could work from within that weather project. You could tell that we're inside of the weather project currently because you can see it within the title here. And also you can see it below in this drop down. And we could also run multiple chats from within the weather project. So let's do that. Create me a 7-day weather forecast for Washington, D.C. And then I'll create a new chat by selecting this button, Start New Chat in Weather. Create me a 7-day forecast for New Delhi, India. And as you can see, we have 2 tasks running at the same time within the weather project. You could also create unlimited projects. So let's actually do that. So I'll add on a new project, and I'll do the same thing like I did before. I'll open up my desktop. We'll add in a new folder, and this folder is going to be for recipes. So I'll hold all my recipes in this folder. And then like we did before, I'll go back in here and add an existing project and select the recipes. And then in here, I'll run a bunch of chats as well. So let's create a recipe for macaroni and cheese. Get me a recipe for how to make macaroni and cheese. And I'll send that in. And notice these examples I'm using have nothing to do with programming. Let's see how our weather's doing. Those are both done. Let's check out the Washington, D.C. And here is the 7-day forecast for New Delhi, India. What makes Codex really powerful is you can expand what it can do using skills and plugins. Like skills, for example, perform tasks inside your projects, and plugins help Codex connect to outside applications and services like Google Drive. To find plugins and skills, you could select the plugins link here, and then here's your plugins and here's your skills. Skills are extra abilities you can give to Codex. For example, you could bring in a skill that will help you create documents, and you can search that here. You can also manage your existing skills here. So here are all the skills I currently have installed now. And if you can't find a skill that you want, you could always go back and create your own skill by selecting this. So let's use a skill. I want to save my recipe here into a document. So I would like to use a skill called Word Docs. So I'll search that here. If you don't already have it installed and you see it here, just select it and go ahead and install it. What I like about this is it gives you an example here on how you could use it. Try it in chat. And this is an example you could use. And notice how they reference the Word Docs here. I'm going to use this Word Docs within this chat here. So I would like to take all this information and turn it into a Word doc. So I'll prompt it. Save this recipe into a Word doc. And then we could be very specific by using the @ symbol. So I'll use the @ symbol. And then look for Word doc. And there it is. And bring in your skill. So now I'm being very specific with Codex, saying I want to use the Word documents for this recipe here. Let's send that in. That took a couple minutes for Codex to generate that file, and now we have a brand new file here. And you can actually click on this open button. And what makes Codex so powerful is it has this display window, so you don't have to leave Codex to view the document. And let's say, for example, you don't like the way the document turned out, you could come back here and update it again. And then to close this panel here, you could close it. And you could also view your document from within your project folder. And we're working out of the recipe. So if I open this up, and now we can find our document in here as well. Plugins are a little different from skills. If we go back to the plugins, and plugins will allow Codex to connect to outside services and applications. So if I search for, let's say, for example, Google Drive, let's say we want to save our document to Google Drive. We could bring in an outside service. So I'll add in Google Drive, and we can upload our macaroni recipe to Google Drive. So let's say we want to view it on our phone at the store. We could just pull up Google Drive and check out the macaroni and cheese recipe. I have already installed this in the past, and I'm already authenticated. When you install Google Drive, it will sign you in, and then also you need to give it permission to create, read, and update documents on your Google Drive account. So let's add that to Codex. Now let's go back to our recipe project again. And this time I'll ask Codex to save our recipe document to Google Drive. Save my recipe document to Google Drive. And again, I'll be very specific and use the @ symbol. And then here's a list of different plugins I currently have. And now I also have Google Drive. So I'm going to select Google Drive and then send that in. That took a couple minutes to complete, and it has saved our recipe to our Google Drive account. And then if you go to your Google Drive account, and here is our recipe online. If you're working on a real complex section, for example, this took a couple minutes, and you could improve on that in some cases by updating this section here. This section here lets you control the model, reasoning effort, and also the response speed. Like for example, the model selection chooses which AI model codex we'll use. In this example, I'm using GPT 5.5. And then this section up here is the reasoning effort. And that controls how deeply the model thinks before answering. And then the last section here, the speed. Response speed controls whether Codex prioritizes faster responses or takes more time processing. For most beginners, the default settings work perfectly. Personally, I usually keep the reasoning around medium, and also I keep most task speed at standard. And then you have the permissions dropdown. In Codex, you can control how much access the app has when working with your files and projects. When your permissions are at default permissions, Codex will usually ask for approval before making changes outside the current project or before performing more like sensitive actions. Auto review allows certain approvals to happen automatically during interactive tasks, so you don't have to constantly confirm every small action while working. And then with full access, Codex can make changes to files on your computer without asking for approval each time. So let's experiment with that. I'm going to perform an action where Codex will need to get my permission before moving forward. So I'm going to leave this at default permissions, and then I'm going to ask Codex to work outside of the recipes folder. So create a copy of this document, this recipe document, and put it on my desktop. So I'm going to be forcing Codex to work outside of the project it's currently in. So I am inside of the recipe folder, and I'm going to ask Codex to create a copy of this file and add it to the desktop. Create a copy of my macaroni and cheese recipe and add that to my desktop. Let's send that in. And now I'm being prompted and it's asking me for permission to create this document and put it on the desktop. And the reason it's doing that is because it's outside of its project here. So if you do not want that behavior, you'll want to change your access level. So I'm going to say, yes, I do want you to create that file outside of the project. Okay, it has created that document. And if we go to the desktop, and if I go at the root level, then there is my file. And if I go back to Codex, now if you don't want that behavior where it's prompting you all the time, you could just change that to full access. And if we would run that same command, and actually let's do that, I'll delete this. Go back to Codex, we'll run the exact same command. Create me another copy of the macaroni and cheese recipe and put that on my desktop. And notice I have it at full access. So now it's not going to prompt me. It's just going to go right ahead and place that document right on my desktop. So I have just given full access to my entire computer to Codex. And it has completed creating a second copy. And if we go back to the desktop, there it is, my recipe. And it did not prompt me to do that. I'm going to change that back to default permissions. And the next thing we should take a look at is the settings. So I find myself using the settings a lot. Let's open that up. And here you can find out about your rate limits. And you could also go under your settings and find out about your usage by selecting usage. Another page I find very useful is the archived chats. So let's say you have a chat and you deleted it and you want to find it, just find it under archived chats. I use that often. And then to update your general settings, you have the general link here. So you could use for coding or for everyday work. Also, you could change your permission levels here as well. And another page you'll find very useful is the appearance. This is where you could change your theme, light mode, dark mode, and system, and different colors here. Below here, you can update like your fonts and things like that. And that's it for the beginner's guide to Codex. Hopefully this gives you a solid starting point and helps you feel more comfortable using Codex for your own projects and workflows. And thank you for watching.